All right, so for this first one here, it's just combining like terms because it's a plus sign. So let's see, this guy doesn't have any like terms, so he's 3x to the fourth. Let's see, the next highest power we have is 7x squared. He also doesn't have any matching terms, so he's just a plus 7x squared. Next up, we've got these two guys. We got a negative 7x and a 2x. That gives us a minus 5x. And then we've got this and this, which is going to give us a negative 4. So that is our answer there. You typically want to write it in highest power to lowest power. That's known as standard form. Here, this is a subtraction problem, so what ends up happening is this first polynomial stays the same, and we have to go and distribute this negative to everything in the second polynomial. So I end up with a minus 8x to the fourth plus 3x squared plus 4x. So now I can go ahead and combine my like terms. This guy and this guy are like terms. They both have a power of 4. So we get a minus 9x to the fourth. Then this guy and this guy are like terms, so we get a plus 5x squared. This guy and this guy are like terms, we get a plus 5x. And that is our answer there. Let's see, I'll do this one. This one, we're multiplying. So we have to make sure that we distribute properly. So first I'm going to distribute my 2x. I get 16x cubed plus 8x squared minus 10x, and then I'm going to go distribute the 1. So I get a plus 8x squared plus 4x minus 5. So then I go combine my like terms. So the 16x cubed doesn't have any like terms there. My squared terms, I get a plus 16 x squared. And then my linear terms, I get a minus 6x, and then the minus 5 is by itself. So we end up with this. All right, let's see. This one wants us to take out a common factor. So first you should look at the coefficients. I got 21, 21, and 30. My greatest common factor here between 21, 21, and 30 is going to be 3. And then I look at my letters, right? What can I take out of all of them? Well, this one has an N and an M, but this one only has an N, and this one only has an M. So I actually can't take an N or an M out. So my GCF here is just 3. So I take out 3, and I have to divide everything by 3. So I end up with 7n squared M minus 7n squared minus 10m. All right, let's see. Here we have factor completely. So if you remember your factoring flow chart, if first thing you always look for is a GCF. If there's no GCF, you're going to look on it based on the number of terms. If you have 4 terms, you're going to do grouping, right? So I look here. So I guess actually first off, let's see, I don't have a GCF across the board. So I've got 42 and 35. So let's see, out of that, I can take a 7, right? So I'm going to take a 7x squared out, and I am left with a 6x minus 5. And then the second group here, I actually can't take anything out. However, my leading term is negative, so I'm going to take out a negative 1. And I end up with 6x minus 5. Now remember, you want these two to match. If they don't match, you either did something wrong or you cannot factor this. So I take these two guys. I get 7x squared minus 1. And I've got the repeated guy. I write him 1, 6x minus 5. That would be my answer there. All right. Let's see. Next up. So again, first thing I always look for is a greatest common factor. Here, let's see, I got 3, 32, and 45. I don't have a GCF here, so I got to do AC. So I'm going to do 3 times 45. 3 times 45, I get 135. So I'm going to list out all of my factors. I get 1 and 135. Let's see, 2 doesn't work. 3 and 45. 135 divided by 4 doesn't work. 135 divided by 5, I get 5 and 27. 135 divided by 6 doesn't work. 7 doesn't work. 8 doesn't work. And then I get 9 and 15. Let's see. 10 doesn't work, 11 doesn't work, 12 doesn't work. Let's see, 13 doesn't work, 14 doesn't work, and then 15 I'm now repeating. So I found all my factors. Which two of these multiply to 135 and add to 32? That is going to be the 5 and 27. So I rewrite this quadratic. I rewrite this 32x using a 5 and a 27. So I'm going to say 3x squared, and then instead of a 32x, I'm going to put plus 5x plus 27x, and then I still got to include my plus 45 on the end here. Notice how these two, when you add them up, give me the 32x. So now I've got 4 terms. I'm just going to do some factoring by grouping. I look here. I can take an x out, so I get 3x plus 5. All right. And then here, I've got, what, 27 divided by, let's see, what can I take out of there? 9, right? So I'm going to take a 9 out, which gives me a 3x plus 5. So I take my 2 factors. I can write x plus 9. And then I've got 3x plus 5. That's what I get there. Let's see, next up. First thing I look for, of course, is a GCF. Let's see, 45 and 125. Let's see, we can definitely do a 5. Let's see, if I did a 5, we get 9, 125 divided by 5. Yeah, okay, so my GCF here is going to be a 5. So I end up with 9x squared minus 25. Now, what I have here is a binomial. We have a binomial. We check to see if you have a difference of squares or a sum and difference of cubes. This one's going to be a difference of squares. So to jog your memory, a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So you have to square root both of these. So I get 3x and 5. So this splits into 3x plus 5 and 3x minus 5. And then I have to make sure I bring down my GCF. So that would be my final answer there. All right, let's see. Next up, we have some synthetic division. So all we have to do here is you switch the sign of this. So I end up with a positive 8. I take my coefficients. I get 1, negative 5, negative 20, negative 32. We drag this down. We multiply. We add down. We multiply. We add down. We multiply. This is no remainder. If we had a number left over here, that would be our remainder. And then we just write our answer. We take these numbers and we take this, the highest power here, and we just bring it down by 1. So I'm going to get 1x squared, which we would just write as x squared, plus 3x plus 4. And that is my answer there.